Good morning, Jamie.
Good morning.
Today is the 3rd of March, 3/3/25. And essentially, last week we had spent the majority of our filming videos that are for the court and are part of our evidence as well as testimony that you and I delivered on camera. Is that true?
Yes.
All right. That being said, I think that it's important for the viewers at home to understand that prior to that content being published live, it is important for the courts to recognize what it is that I am about to publish and the significance
Yes.
that it has on, are you gonna write the time?
I am.
Oh, you realize it because it's 11 o'clock. Perfect timing.
All right.
1133. Excellent. It's almost like meant to be. Now, when we talk about the rules of it's a mouthful, evidence, the rules of evidence, federal rules of evidence, essentially there's a whole myriad of rules that attorneys and anyone who is practicing as a pro se advocate needs to abide by. But when we talk about the year of 2025 and living in a digital world, it's very important to understand that each individual case, or in particular my one case that is an umbrella over all my cases, recognizes the evidence being presented to it via a public forum such as YouTube. Why? Because in the courts, the amount of matters that I'm dealing with are so complex, so convoluted, so intertwined, and so heavily favored against anyone that's trying to disprove me, since the burden of proof is on me at during a narrative that is so overwhelming and confusing that when I'm able to have an uninterrupted forum such as YouTube, the content that I deliver is much more coherent, it is streamlined, it's systemic, and it's really to the point. Now, Jamie, is there anything you would like to add before we continue?
As to what? Do you want me to go into this or just your train of thought? I agree. I think that this is really important. You know, you always say moving into the digital age. It's true. There should be a simpler way to provide this kind of evidence into the
Well, just write word of the day, redundant. Word of the day, WOD, WAD.
The WAD.
Word of day. Word to mother. Word a day. Redundant. And the reason why I say it's redundant is because the only thing that's original is going to be this motion. Essentially, the responses to the additional motions that are pending, as well as the content and context of what I'm trying to convey and what I want to have happen, we've been already saying it for the last 4+ years.
Yeah.
And when we look at what it is that we want, let's go ahead and switch back. What it is that we want, we need to recognize that we've already stated what we want, the legal argument of why I should be entitled to it, and everything else multiple times over. So we won't just respond to the actual motions. We will show that we have not only responded, but we've been ruled against in the context of the legal argument that we present rather than the facts. And that's very important because
I agree. However, I think that if we're going to do this and do it right, we need to stay on point and say, okay, if this is the motion that we're talking about and this is what we're doing, then we should be talking about this specifically.
It's not just that. It's just that our biggest adversary is going to be the fact that we don't have a time machine, and we have been ruled against during a time where we weren't able to represent ourselves, and or the Davies, Menendez, Salas connection was not public. And now that all of that has really come out, the real question is, where's the validity in the rulings that those relationships affected, and why do I have to even address them as a counter argument against what I'm saying, since it is completely tainted? What is it?
Well, I think that you've gotten untangled a lot of the mess of a ball. Oh, hold on. We have to pause.
All right, I gotta pause this and do dad stuff.